Good morning, everyone. Let's continue. I think I started. Okay. So today we cover the basic about CSS. The main thing we covered yesterday and you must understand is those selectors. Let's review a little bit. Okay. This page. The thing I put it here yesterday, I already uploaded to in-class demos. Okay, so everything I do in the class, I will put it here. And this is a PDF I shared with you guys. And the first one we learned is like HTML tags, like all the HTML you can use to select and to give a styles, like a paragraph, div, span, which is a tag name. And we have CSS selectors, which also for a group, okay? And then we use a dot, and you give a semantic meaning. When you choose a name for CSS or ID selector, you choose a meaningful name, okay? Like special shout. And it's for group, and we do have ID selector, which is must be unique on a page, and use a hash. We do also have another group selector, which use separately with a comma, and you can here, which means all the paragraph, div, and h1 will apply those styles. Well, we haven't wrote here. And also for the group selector, you can mix them with like a class selector or ID selectors. Context selector has two. One is separated with white space. When we do that, that means it will select all the children which inside the front, which is A. Doesn't matter direct or not direct. But for direct child, which we have the is open bracket here, it means I'll select all the children which are directly child of the A. And we can have kind of like combined selector, like here. When we have context selector, here we have a space. But if there's no space, that means we are selecting all the paragraph, and those paragraph must have a class special. Okay, it's gonna select this one. This one gonna be selected. This one, but not this one, because this paragraph doesn't have class special. And we do have another two, which is pseudo class. Pseudo class define a state of the elements. Pseudo element define the specific part of the elements. State like a hover, focus, loose focus, or others. Okay, a special parts like a first letter, a first paragraph, no, first line. Okay, first line. Then you can use a pseudo element. And today we have another lecture on CSS, mainly focused on page layout. Okay, there are many ways to do page layout. We just cover some of them, not all of them. Okay, if interesting, you can learn by yourself in the future. Okay. Now let's take a look at. I was just using the slides to show. Okay, the PDF. CSS provides different tools for creating a layout. There are very different ways to do. You can use a table originally, and after that we use the position. We will learn this one because probably when you go to some old, like work on some old project, you will fix some CSS. Then you probably need to do position. And most of them are based on taking a block element and placing it in a relation to some other blocks. We will see. Okay. And later on, you will ask the question. Yes, it is the relationship that becomes the tricky part. The question is the position is relative to what? We will see when we do relative and absolute. Okay, this illustrates general principle that individual parts must often be understood in terms of larger context. The whole is greater than sum of its parts. Okay, we do have another one. The box model. The first thing we are introducing is a box model. Is a description of how every element has a basic width and height, outside of which it has a padding, a border, and a margin. And for inline elements, only the left and right margin and padding affect the surrounding elements. Here we will see a difference later between the block elements and the inline elements. Okay, we'll see all of them in future slides. The box model is another encapsulation mechanism, allows the layout style to be separate from page content. That is found in layers. Okay. So now Let's take a look at the CSS box model. This one I'm talking about whenever we place an element on the page, how much wide and how much tall that element will take on the screen, right? So normally we will have a width and height for the property, right? But by default, the width and height actually is only referred to the content width and height, okay? And the actual element which is taken on the screen will also combine with what? The actual content width and height will also have a padding outside the content. We'll also have a border, and we'll also have a margin. We'll see all of them in future slides, okay? So the actual width for element taken on the page, you will think as a content width plus left and right padding plus left and right border, and also the margin, okay? Same for the height. We will see demos later, okay? I will show you demos later because we have to cover the border, padding, and margin. Then I will show the demo, okay? First, let's take a look at about the border. For the border, you can specify 3 properties. The first one is for the thickness, how thick is the border. Second one is a style. Last one is a size. All of them, you can interchange them, okay? But you must, for the border, you must have a style. Let me show you this one. I will do one, which is called the border demo.html and HTML5. And here, let me use a div because this is a div. Then I will add a border here. You can specify the thickness of the border. And this is a style. And then you can give a color, any RGB or the colors you want, okay? Now let's take a look at when we do, you will have a border here. And then let's inspect, take a look at. Here, first, can you see here has a box model? He will tell you the actual wide and tall this element actually take on the screen. And you will see that this is a content length. And after that, we will see padding later. And this is our border, okay? And for the border, you must have the style is required, which is solid, or we have other options. You can see here, solid, hidden, dotted, dash, double. These are the styles. Those styles are required. Suppose here I don't have a style. You will not see the border. Okay, and let me just have, I didn't test. If I have a solid here, and by default, you're gonna have a default black, probably 1 pixel. I don't remember default one. Okay, and then you can add others. The order doesn't matter, like a 6 pixel blue, like this. Order, you can switch the order, but the required one is a style. Okay, that is a border. Any question on this one? This one is easy, right? Okay, it's a border. Don't get confused about this thing. Take a look at here. The border is not on the top left, right? The reason is by default, browser will see here. Browser by default will give a margin on the body. This is a browser. See here, the body. The browser give a margin 80 pixel. That because it's not here. If I give like a margin 0. Then you can see just start from here, okay? So it's not because of the thing, okay? It's because browser by default give a margin on that. That's a Chrome. Probably you go to another browser. Here it's not 8, okay? So this is here user agent style sheet. This border we see here is what? Is a shorthand. You can also specify the border for each of the side. Like you can specify border color, border width, border style, or you can use a border bottom, left, right, and the top. Okay, or you can specify for each part. Okay, so here we have another example. Let's give. Suppose here I have a paragraph. This is a P. Okay, paragraph, and I use paragraph. And you can say, okay, border color. border color, let's use red. Okay, you can also use border left. Suppose left, I use dotted. Okay, dotted, I use blue, and I use 8 pixel. And we also have what others? Let's give them border bottom style. Okay, you can also add a border BORD bottom style. Okay, let's use what thing? Double. How about that? Just do like this. Okay. So by default, when we give border color, so all the paragraph, yeah. Also, here when I give color, should have a red, but here I don't give style. Oh yes, it's fine. Okay. So here I give the border color, which is the 4 sides will have color red, right? But as we mentioned, if we don't give style, actually you want to see nothing. Okay. So let's first take a look at this one. We will see nothing on the paragraph, right? But now here. When we give border left, I have a dotted, and this blue gonna override this red. So on the left side, we'll have dotted blue and 8 pixel, right? And for the bottom, I will have what? Double, but I didn't give a color, right? So it's gonna use this color. So on the only the left and the bottom, we're gonna have what? We're gonna have a border, which is blue dotted, and this one 80 pixel. But for this one bottom, we're gonna have a double and a red, but the thickness is gonna be a default one, right? Can I see here? Yeah, this is dotted. Okay, this is double, right? The red, and this one is what's the name? Blue. Right, got it. So you must have a style. Okay, when used. Just when you need it, just use it. Okay. Now here dimension, which means how to add width and height for block elements and image. Image is inline element, okay? Image is inline element. Block elements and image element only. You can set how wide or tall this element, or set maximum or minimum size of this element in the given dimension. Which is like this way, you can set the width and height, okay? And also you can use the maximum width instead of width in this situation will improve browse handle smaller screens. This maximum or minimum are used for what? For when you want to support responsive, okay? Let's take a look at this, take a look at the demo, okay? We will have a width and height demo. I will apply width and height on block element and on inline element, and let's take a look at the difference. So first I will have a div, okay? Div, I will have this is a div. Then I will have another div here. This is another div. I will have a paragraph between them, okay? Oh, sorry, not span. This is a span. Then we are going to add some styles. First thing, let's practice. For all the div and span, I want to add a border, so I know where it is, right? Border, I will add 1 pixel solid and red, okay? And then for the div, let's add a width. This is how you add, okay? Then this unit is the same as the size unit we mentioned yesterday. Okay, EM or those, okay, and add the height, we will add 100 pixel, okay, and I will do the same thing for the span. Let's do, I can do, let's separate, okay, separate. Actually, I can put all of them here. Sorry. Then we will take a look at, guys, take a look at here. Just now for first, for all the div and the span, I have the border, right? Applied. And we also write another thing is for all the div, I had the width and height. So you can see the width and height for the div is being changed, right? Otherwise, you will see what? You're gonna see like this way, right? Got me? Let me change a little bit. let me make another color, okay. Okay, let me make another color. So here, let me remove the div. This is a div, right? And when I remove, and take a look at the span. Oh, it's already been taken. So when I add width and height on a div, it's actually being changed, right? Because div is a block element. But now take a look at my span. Does the height and the width applied on this span? No, that is this line talking about. Only for the block elements and the image element only, then you can set how wide, how tall this element. And for other inline element, even though I set this width and height, you can take a look at it here. So here, try something, okay, because it's inline element, it actually didn't apply them, because for inline element, width and height doesn't have any effect on them, okay, only for block element, and another one is image. Let me copy an image here, okay. I think we have a cat. Okay, so here let's have only image. Image is inline style. Okay, so here. Okay, then here we will have a cat. This is the default. Okay, very huge. Then you can also use what? You can use this one. Okay, which is width and the height. Then it's gonna be changed. Okay, only image and block elements. Okay, I made a mistake the first day. Okay, I add 100 pixel, remove the pixel. Okay, by default the width and height, if you directly give here, it's gonna be pixel. But we don't recommend that you do like this way. Always use CSS to apply the styles. Okay.
Why do you recommend that?
Because when we do here, that's considered as an inline style. Okay. And the CSS, because of the way I put it here, you should use another CSS file. Okay. Then you can change, swap the CSS to completely change the style. Okay. And another way, when you put a width and height here, the only size unit you can use is a pixel. But from here, you can use according to the viewport. You can do lots of other things. Okay. This line. Others you can text. You can practice by yourself, which is maximum width and maximum height. Okay, and then do others. Now let's take a look at another one. When you set the width of element, the element can actually appear bigger than you set. The element's border and padding will stretch the element beyond the specified width. Now let me show you one example. Just now we talk about we can set the width and height, but the width and height are only for the content. Okay. What's the thing? Box model 2. I'm going to have two div here. This is a div 1. Just have two div. Okay. And for all of them, I will give a same same width and height. Okay. So let me do width is 200 pixels. And then let's practice. Okay, class. This class I will call div1. Sorry, I just give div1. Okay, you should give something not like a media. Okay, you can also give an ID. Okay, div2. Okay, dot div1. Okay, I'll give something special. And for this div1, I will, do I have a paddings here? Yes, I have padding. Okay, I will have a border, which is 1 pixel, solid red. Okay. And then for the div2, I will do something else. Okay, border, I will give 5 pixel solid, I will give blue. And I will give another 2 to show you it's going stretch the more, okay, padding like a 50 pixel. Okay, we will learn padding later, okay, don't worry. But now take a look at this 2 box. This height is too much, 50. Can you take a look at here? When I specify width and height, for both of them are using the same, right? Both of them I set is 250, right? But can you see these 2 boxes? How much they take on the screen? This div2 is much larger than this div1, right? That is called a box model because when we see an element on the screen, it's not the only width and height will consist of the how tall and how wide this element on the screen. You also need to consider other things. Other things will become what? Other things will also consider padding. We'll also consider border. Later on, we'll also have a margin. You got me? Okay, this is the box model talking about. Okay, so you have to be careful to see the width and height. Okay, not only the width and height taken. This is the one. Okay.
So when you set 5 pixel border size, but in the browser it's taking 4.8, right?
Yeah, I think that's the how the probably that's a good find out. I guess that's related to something related to how the computer give the numbers. Like the computer cannot get the number like 0, 3. You got me? 1 divided by 3, right? You will see 0, 3. I think that's the thing how the 5 is gonna be doing. Okay. Okay, I'm not aware of this one. Okay, so actually I saw it. Okay, but we can do some. I can do some debugging. Okay, look at why is this one. Okay, let's take a look at if something happened in the Microsoft IE. Okay, it's definitely. Let's see. Still the same one. We can do if we can change it to be like a. We can do like see if it's a 6, what's going to happen. 6 is 6. I think that's the how the way.
Can you try to change it back to 5?
Yeah. The computer cannot exactly display, represent the numbers we do. Like some numbers like 3, those numbers they have to using floating,
Yeah, float numbers are okay, but this is a 5 is a float
yeah,
number, right?
I don't know. We have to take a look at it because you can see some numbers they do. It must related to the numbers, how the computer actually represent numbers. Okay. Let's take a look at 4. You can see 4. I think for the odd numbers, let's see. Take a look at 3. Okay. See here. Okay. Okay. We can take a look, talk later. Okay. I don't know how they did. Okay. But that's good to find out. This is the box model. And now let's take a look at another border radius. Border radius is to have a rounded corner. Okay. It was I'm not sure if you guys take a look at have observe on the styles, like in 2012. Okay, around 2012 when I go to the company, previously all the style we have the board like called the border radius around the corner, right? Then when I get into company at that time, all the border styles like this border radius will change to be a square. And like 3 or 4 years back, now they started using the border, the corner. So that's kind of like a fashion, goes and comes. Okay, so now this is a popular. Let's take a look at the border radius. Okay, and the time when I work with the border radius, we have to support what? We have to support it on IE6. Which is terrible because IE6 doesn't support a border radius. So we use an image, round image to kind of make it look also like a border radius on IE6. Okay, But now I think, guys, you're fine. Probably won't, because IE is not supported anymore. We are good. Oh, you don't understand? Okay. That's a terrible experience. We have the support from IE6 till the latest version, and usually IE has in the developer tool you have to switch, right? So you can switch the version of the IE, but it's still different from you directly install the IE. If you go to a small company, you will learn everything. Because before I go to the company, actually I don't know CSS that much. But when you go there, it's a small company, and we have to fix everything because no designer. So the developer will do everything. Okay. So slowly you have to fix the CSS by yourself. That's how I learned CSS. But I'm still not good at CSS. Okay. Okay, div. Let's have a border first. Okay. When we do like this way, we will only have a border. And you can see those corner is a square corner, right? And if we want to have a round corner, you can specify the border radius, okay? You can do one value. If we go one value, you're gonna set it for 4 corner, okay? So let's have a border radius here. And we will give like 3 pixel. Let's give 4 pixel, okay? Then we will see you have a round, right? And when you debug, like see, you can just increase here, see here, and you got more round. Okay, that's a border radius. That's only one value, and you can also specify at the most 4 values. Suppose I specify 4 values. It's gonna be top left. You can start with the top, then go clockwise. Let me show you what I mean. This is a 1 value. You can specify 4 values. You're gonna be see like this is gonna be the top left, okay? Then clockwise, okay? Then like a 5 pixel. Let's go like 15, okay? 15 pixel, 10 pixel, 5 pixel, 0, okay? And let's see what's going to happen. This is top left, then clockwise, like 10 and 5, and this one is a 0. Okay, that's a 4 value. And you don't need to remember, okay? Just show you what it is, okay? If we have 3 values, it's gonna be top is a 1. Okay, let me show you, okay? Let me do border radius. This is gonna be the top, okay? And middle one is what? Middle top right, okay. This one is top right and what's it? Bottom left, and the last one is the bottom right. Okay. See, this is the top, right? Top, which means this one is top left, and what's it? Bottom right. Okay, and this one is shared on these 2 corners. Okay, and you can also have a 2 for the radius, and which is 10 pixel and 0. This one gonna be top and top left and bottom right, and the other one is the other 2 corner. Okay, no need to remember. Okay, this one top left and bottom right, and this one is 0. So it depends on what you want. Okay, either you remember this when you do, or either you don't use shorthand. You can use what thing. Oh, you can also use this one. I think we can do it. Can specify border radius. This one cannot. Border radius. Let me see. Okay. Oh, this one cannot. Sorry. Do I have?
Yeah.
Border. Oh, this one you can do like that. Border bottom left radius. You can do like that. Okay. If you don't remember shorthand. Okay. That's the one. Next one, padding. The padding shorthand property set all the padding properties one declaration, and here Padding share the background color of the element. Okay, now let's take a look at this one, padding. Let me have a div. This is a div. Let me show you a paragraph. Okay. Now I don't add any stuff for this both of the tag, but when we open in the browser, you will see P. Let me add a border. Border solid. Okay. Oh, P is not a border. Oh, P is padding. Sorry, P is padding. No, ignore what I said. Okay. I would think it's border solid red 1 pixel. Okay. I'll do something else. Okay. I was thinking that's also padding. Okay. Let's skip. Okay. So now let's take a look at the padding. Here, or if we don't have the padding, it's gonna be just carry the content, right? But when we have a padding, and you can see padding is inside the border. Okay, so this is my content. Outside the content, you're gonna have a padding. Okay, and outside the padding, you're gonna have a border. Okay, and now what I want to show you here is add another one. Okay. So, can you see the padding part? When I see the background color, without the padding, I will see background color on the content, right? And when I have padding, what's the thing? It shares the background color with the content itself, which we will see margin later. Margin doesn't share the background color. Okay. For the padding, it's gonna be the same as what's the border radius. It also have 4 values. You can set for what's thing. You can use the one which is for top, left, right, and bottom. And you can also do like a 3, okay, like a 4, like a 20 pixel, 15 pixel, 10 pixel, 5 pixel. Then always this one always start from a top, and top, right, bottom, left. Okay. Okay, this is top thing. Okay. And then you can also do other like a 3. If I give 3, let's use this is gonna be top, this is gonna be bottom, this is gonna be left and right. Left, because right we have a hole, right? And then if we do 2, then again, this is gonna be top and bottom, this is gonna be left and right. Okay, left, and see here, bottom, and only one value, which means 4 sides. Okay, no need to remember. And you can also use what's thing, not a shorthand. You can use also use what's thing, padding left, padding left, 10 pixel. Then padding right 10 pixel. You can do not a shorthand. Okay, by yourself. That's the padding. Do you guys have any question on the padding? Okay, if not, we will go to the last one, which is a margin. Margin is to specify when you have 2 elements stuck each other, right? You want to create some space between the 2 elements, then you can use the margin. Okay, and the margin always transparent. So even though you set the background color for the content, padding will share the background color, but the margin will not share the background. Always transparent. Let's take a look at a margin example. Let's have a div. This is a div. Let's have another div. Okay. Div 2. And by default, the browser will give a margin on the paragraph. Take a look at this one. See here, between the paragraph and div, here have some space, right? And that's a default style which the browser give. See here. By default, the browser gives 16 margin on the top and the bottom. Okay, and if you can override if you want, and you can also change the margin by yourself. Okay. Suppose I give a div. I give what's thing? A margin. I want to give a border first. Okay. 1 pixel solid red. Okay. And then I will give a margin, which is margin. Let's give 10 pixel. Okay. And I will give a background color. God bless you. Okay. Yellow. And I will give a padding, which is 20 pixel. Can you see here now between them have some margin, right? See here, when I have margin, because I specify margin bottom, which is 4 sides, and that's how you create the space between the elements. And you can see does the margin share the background color yellow? Margin is always transparent. Okay. And this that's how you do for the margin. And let's summarize. Okay, when we take a look at an element being placed on the screen, you have to consider all parts, which is the content itself, and the padding, and the border, and the margin. That's how tall and how wide the element actually taken on the screen. Okay. Any more questions you guys have here?
So here, when we apply margin for div, both divs doesn't have 10 pixels, right?
This one, you have a good find out. Take a look at it here.
They share the common margin in between.
That is called, that's something when we do this thing, right? Together, right? This one is called the margin collapse, okay? Which is another theory part. That's a good find out, okay? Let me show you guys what he is talking about. Here I have margin 10 on all the div, right? That means this div has a margin, margin bottom 10 pixel. And this div also have a margin top 10 pixel, right? But when we see here, did you see 20 pixel here? It's a 10 pixel, right? This is something called a margin collapse. This is because between these two div, we have nothing. So it's about using the higher one, the larger one gonna wins. What I mean is like this way. That's a good find, okay. I will do margin in different way, okay. I just add on each of them. I will do this one. I will do a margin bottom, which is 10 pixel. I will do a margin top, div 2. Our div 2 have a margin top, which is 30 pixel. So now we expect between them I should have 40, right? But when the browser do, it's actually not a 40, it's actually 30. Take a look. I will hover. Do you see here? When I hover here, you see the orange part is how the div 2 occupy, right? And take a look at it's already reached to the D1. Actually, the margin, the orange part is already 30 pixel. That means this is 10 pixel. 10 pixel is for the div1 margin bottom. It's actually part of the 30 pixel. And this is something called a margin collapse. When two div or paragraph, they are connected to each other, when it has a margin bottom and a margin top, right? They will do a collapse, which is the higher, larger value wins. You got me? And if we have something between them, I just do like this, okay. Then you're gonna see between, see here, there's 30, and this is 10, okay. This is called a margin collapse. And the same thing also happened on where? Happened on paragraph. Let me show you, okay. That's a good find out. Margin collapse. I want to see, oh, we have. We have, okay. Let me show you why they do margin collapse, okay. Suppose this this H1 CS472 blog. Suppose you wrote a blog, okay? And here we use a paragraph. This is one paragraph, okay? And we do have another, let's have another 2 paragraph. Let's have one more. Let me open in the browser. So now take a look at the blog. You can see this space here. Let me add another div here. Okay. Something. Guys, take a look at here. This space between the something and here and here and here, you can see that they are the same size, right? So think about it. When we write a blog, we expect the space on the top and on the bottom in the middle should be the same. But if we don't have margin collapse, that means here we'll have what? Take a look at the paragraph. All the paragraph will have what thing? Have a margin top and bottom. So that means here is 16, here should be 32, which is wider. Normally we don't like it, right? We want the space which is same. You understand me? That's why the margin collapse is naturally being doing like this way, because we want a space. When we read the book, we space should be the same, right? But if we don't have margin collapse, the middle, these two gonna be large, and we need to fix it. That's why they do margin collapse naturally.
So margin collapse will occur in between divs and paragraph.
All of them, if you have margin. Okay, like if you have a header section, those block elements, they're gonna have. Okay, but for inline elements, we'll see later. Did I show you the? Let me take a look at slides. Okay. Oh, we do have. Okay, we'll see. Okay, inline elements, the margin bottom and the margin top, padding bottom, padding top doesn't have effect on other elements. Only left and right will affect. Okay, that's a good to find out. This is called a margin collapse. Okay. Now let's take a look at more, if you guys have no question. The box model is description of how element has a basic width and height, outside of which it has a padding, border, and margin. For inline elements, only the left and the right margin will affect, but no padding affect the surrounding elements. Okay, the box model is another encapsulation mechanism that allows layout style to be separate from the page content. Life is found in layers. Let me see if I have the slides about that is the thing. I forgot. Oh, probably no. Yeah. Oh, here have inline. Let me just show you this one. Okay. Just now, when I add the margin, I always add on the block elements, right? Let's take a look at this one. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Inline element means, okay, when you see the demo. So I'm going to do like this way. Div, I will copy a sentence here, okay. It's long. Then I will do another one, which is div. Okay, I will do another one, a div. Okay. Let me copy some other sentence. And I will copy some others here. And here for the suppose I like the action, I give a span here. And I wrap this one, use here, you got me? Now I will give a style. First, I will give a style for make sure they have borders, okay? I'll give a border, 1 pixel red solid, okay? Then I will give a span. 1 pixel dotted and called blue. How about it? And when we do, we are going to have this gonna be look like this way, right? Now I'm going to start other margin and padding on the action. Okay. Let's use 2 pixel. Okay. Here first I will add a padding. Okay. I will have a padding left, which is a 10 pixel, and I will have a padding right, which is a 10 pixel. Okay. I will make a background color to this one, which is let's call yellow. Okay. When we do see it, padding left and padding right do have, right? Now I will add a padding top and a padding bottom. Okay, you will see what does it mean. Doesn't affect. Okay, padding top, which is I'll give 20 pixel. Padding bottom, which is 20 pixel. Okay. Do you see? So you probably think, oh, it do have a background of this thing, right? But the sentence is there. Only the left and right margin of padding affect the surrounding element. What does that mean? Suppose I'm adding a padding on the div element. It's gonna push the other element, top and bottom. What's gonna happen is, suppose I just change this to be a div. Okay, let me show you what's gonna happen. I just change this one to be div. You got me? Let me change this one to be paragraph. Okay. So can you see the difference? If I use a paragraph, the top is being pushed. If you still don't understand, let me give another scenario. Let's take a look at here. Okay, I will copy entire thing. I'll copy. What should I do? I'll copy entire thing using another one. Okay.
Maybe we can argue.
Let me do like this way. Okay. I will do is I will add a special. I will add ID here. Okay. ID map. I do 2. Okay. Do 2. So it's going to be ugly because this action is here. Okay. Let me add a ruler here. I cannot do like this way because otherwise, let me do directly add a. I will add here. I will use the same thing. Did you see, guys? When I add a padding top and padding bottom, this the first div and the second div is being pushed. It's being pushed, right? But when you see the span, is this the first web application and the last one is being pushed? No. Even you see the background color has, but it doesn't affect the other surrounding element. Do you got me? Otherwise, it's gonna be pushed. That is this one talking about. Only the left and the right gonna be push other element away, but the top bottom doesn't push other element away. Take a look here. When I have a left and a right, the end and the R are being pushed, right? But when I add the top and bottom, it's not being pushed. You can still see the thing is kind of overlapping. That is the inner element padding top. Bottom and the margin top bottom we're talking about. Now let me add let me make this one to be smaller. Okay, padding 5. Let me add a margin. Okay, I will add a margin top and which is 10 like I do 100 pixel. Okay, margin bottom is 100 pixel. I will add a margin left, which is 20 pixel. Add a margin right is 20 pixel. Now you will see here between and the action, it has a margin here, right? It has a margin between them. But I add a 100 pixel margin on the top bottom. Did you see anything? No. didn't apply, that's inline. But if later on I add this 4 on this div, you will see they're being pushed. Okay, it's being pushed, right? That is this line talking about. You got it? Okay. Just not affect the surrounding elements. Surrounding elements, how they lay before, gonna be how they lay as before. Let's have a 10 minutes break, then we'll come back for block and others.
I couldn't find anything.
You searched? Did you take a FPP? FPP, I remember, has one lecture talking about numbers. Like a whole floating number?
Yeah, floating numbers. So here we are not working with the floating number, right? 5 is a whole number, so it cannot be the same scenario.
I'm not sure if it's the same scenario as JavaScript, because JavaScript, there's no integers. All of them, if you give 5, actually it still is a floating, because JavaScript, it only have number, it doesn't differentiate the integers, those. I'm not sure if CSS will do the same thing.
But Professor, so when they represent, it can be either float or any number. When they represent in binary, so 5 means it's going to be like 1,
1 0 1 1 0 1.
1 0 1.
Yeah.
1 0 1 0. No, 1
One
0
is-
0
Oh,
1. 2 to the power 0 is going to be 1.
2 and 4.
Yeah, 1 0.
Yeah, 0 1 0 1, right? 1 0 1. Yeah.
So, I mean, since it's a whole number, so there won't be any defect even if we store it in a, if it's a decimal number, of course it should.
I don't know, but obviously this one seems like a JavaScript. JavaScript, even though it give like a 5 those, right? Behind thing, they're still using floating to represent every numbers. Yeah, I'm not sure this one, but it seems people avoid. Okay, I'll take a look at it.
If that is the case, then it should have the problem for even numbers as well.
Even numbers, I don't know. I'll ask Professor Kaza. He knows.
Can I hand this out?
Oh, sure. You can also give me one.
Students only.
Oh, still on the side. I was a student.
Oh.
Easier.
Their drinks. Huh?
Drinks.
No.
No, and you need to pick.
You need to pay. How much is this? It's free. There's food.
Yeah,
There's food there.
yeah, but you have to wear a suit.
It says, it says formal. It doesn't say formal here. Looks the same formal in Uganda. It says formal dressing, right?
Yeah, you can wear traditional.
Formal in Uganda is good. Yeah, I was asking again.
So, you use the different haircuts like for instead of like mentioning so you might think it so instead I just it's advisable to just group the elements.
The idea is in the event you have a head that you don't want to take up the channel too much, you can just miss out the class and not take that. For example, you design headers to have the 16 bits. So in the event you do a particular, maybe another exercise, you don't exercise 16 years, you don't have to give it class, you can give it on.
Oh, yes. We have $10.
Well, it's 10 bucks. It's free.
No. Just bring thing. Oh, it's for the list.